Alright guys, today we are going to do our summarizing anchor chart. Summarizing nonfiction text is our skill for this week. We've already gone over summarizing fiction text, so it's very similar except for in fiction text we often use somebody wanted but so then. In nonfiction text we are actually looking for facts from our article that we read or our nonfiction article. So the first thing that we want to do, you may want to take your hand here and just trim it up a little bit to make it look a little bit better. Trim around it so it looks nice when you put it in your notebook. Shouldn't take you too long, as I kind of already cutted some of it out for you. Do it a little bit better if I do it off camera. So nonfiction text is very important in the things that we study, especially our animal unit. You guys have already kind of been summarizing nonfiction text as we read about our different animals, our decomposers, producers, consumers, and you've been summarizing that information so that we can put it on our websites. And we're going to continue doing that this week as well. Hopefully by Friday we're going to finish up those websites. So you're going to turn to the next clean page in your reading notebook. There are 3 different parts that you will need to put in your notebooks. Starting first, we're always going to be on the right-hand side, this side of the paper. You're going to glue in your summarizing I can statement. Just a little glue, you don't need a whole lot. So your I can statement says, I can summarize a piece of informational text. The next thing that you want to glue into your notebook is your hand. Your hand is the way that you can remember. You notice I glued it towards the middle because we have a little bit of information that we're going to write down here at the bottom of your page. On the left-hand side of your notebook, you're going to glue in the piece that says nonfiction summary. This is when you come back to my group this week. You will need to have that glued in your notebook because we're going to go over it, do it together. But that's kind of how you can remember how to write a nonfiction summary. Alright, so let's zoom in just a little bit on our hand page. Give me just a second while I kind of adjust. We have a few things that we want to write here. The first thing that we want to write is a nonfiction summary includes. Basically, it includes 3 important parts of our text. The first thing that it includes is the main idea of the text. As you know, we've studied main idea before. Main idea is what the text is mostly about. The text is mostly about. The second thing it includes is the most important details or ideas. The most important details or ideas. Okay? Most important details or ideas. That's going to be these facts here. This is going to be your number 2s. The topic's going to be your number 1 there. And the last thing that you're going to include are keywords from your text. If you're reading a text about dolphins and it continuously talks about their dorsal fins, maybe it is mentioned 10 times in that text, that's probably going to be something that you want to include in your nonfiction summary. All right? So remember, whenever you're writing a summarization of nonfiction, you're going to include your topic, 3 facts, and then your closing. You need to make sure that you have the main idea of the text, the most important detail or ideas of the text, and the keywords from your text. If you look over on this page, this is kind of a little guideline on how to write your nonfiction summary. You notice you start with your opening. This article is about. Again, if we're reading about dolphins, the article is about dolphins. The next thing you want is an interesting fact. Use your own words. That means that you don't need to be copying sentences from the author. Use your own words to create an interesting fact that you got from your reading. Same thing for number 2, same thing for number 3, same thing for number 4. And then the final thing is you're going to restate the main idea of that text. Remember, the last statement is what sticks with your readers the most, so it's important to restate that main idea. If you would like to spend maybe 5 minutes coloring this page, you may absolutely do that, and then you need to move on to the next activity.